today's plan of action is we're going to be doing a full oil change and an oil filter change on my car, which is a Hyundai Coupe or a Tiburon Tuscany, whichever one you would call it. In England it's a Coupe, but yeah, it's known for being a Tiburon or Tuscany. But the plan is I'm going to do a full oil change, and I'm going to be running Shell Helix or Helix, whatever you want to call it, 10W40. Now there is actually a mixed opinion. Some people say you should use 5W30, some people say you should run 10W40. The whole thing is that once you've got over a certain amount of miles, which is usually around 60,000-70,000 miles, you start using 10W40, it's just better for the engine. I know that in the Hyundai forums, everyone says to use 10W40. Don't listen to what the manual says. Times have changed, people have found out that different oils are better, so it's always recommended to use 10W40. So we're using that. Plus I've got I've actually got a Bosch, I think it is, oil filter. Some people say to use the standard Hyundai oil filter, but to be honest with you, I'm a bit weird on that because so many people in different cars have said just use the standard one, but I've always used other companies and I've never had a problem with them. So fingers crossed, it should be alright. So the plan is, car's there. Well, the problem is because obviously it's lowered and I've got the splitter side skirt extensions, it is a nightmare to get jacked up, but we need to jack it up. So I'm basically going to get my axle stand, well I'm going to put some chocks on bricks underneath the back wheels. So I don't have chocks, I'm just going to put some bricks underneath, put it into gear, and put it in handbrake on. I'm going to get it lifted up with jack and then get some axle stands underneath it and get started. So guys, car's a bit messy, but handbrake's on, put it back into fourth, and time to get axle stands on. So guys, a little update for you. So car's jacked up, the axle stand underneath both of the frame, axle stand on that side, axle stand on that side. Obviously got bricks on the back to wedge it up. The only thing is, the sump plug is stuck on so bad, so it's not fun. But you like literally sump plug, I'm trying like with some rate power and it's just not coming up, and I don't want to break the thread. So I've just had a look at a couple of forums, people are saying just to warm up the engine, just to see if it'll actually put some heat in. If not, then I'm going to get my extension lead out and get my actual heat gun and just put it on where it's supposed to be, and hopefully that'll loosen it up. But I don't want to put an open flame on it with a blowtorch because it's being caked in WD-40. But yeah, it's all jacked up, ready to go. Guys, a bit further. Managed to get it loose. I'm at this side now, but right at the front, I've done it. I literally had to get the heat gun on it, and I had to get WD-40, cake it in WD-40, and then after I WD-40'd it, I literally got my socket, an extension, and another extension bar, and then a fucking metal pole would gradually pull it, and when it finally released. So the person who ordered this before though, when they said it's had an oil change, they've either tightened it with a fucking buzz gun, or they've just completely over tightened it. Because that were ridiculous. You're only supposed to basically put it in hand tight and then a quarter nip and then it's fine. That were way more than a quarter. That were ridiculous. I'm gonna get all the oil flushed out now and then change it. The oil cap off. Just like helps with a bit of a vacuum thing. Put that here. Basically underneath now, if you can see it from an angle, there. I don't know if you can actually see it, man, I see it all. You can see that on camera. But basically, the oil dripping out. It's come out quite quick actually because I want engine up. So the oil is coming out now. It's just getting its last drops. Oil's coming out now. Just getting its last drops, getting it all drained. Once that's drained from there, I'm then going to take the oil filter out, which when they've designed it, they've actually put it in an easy position. So I'm hoping that's not stuck on hard, but it probably is. But oil filter's got to come off. Then I'll be putting a sump plug in. Then I'll be getting the oil filter, the new oil filter, which is here. Bosch oil filter, putting a little bit of oil around, obviously the oil seal bit. That's the new sump plug and crush washer. Important, add a new washer. And then that's the oil. So obviously, once all the oil is dropped out, like I said, I'm going to put the new sump plug back on, new oil filter on, and then start topping it up. So guys, another update for you. Not filmed it, because it's a messy job and like, we've been under the car, I've got nowhere to put my phone. And I ain't got a camera, I'm just using my phone. But oil has been completely drained. The other thing is the actual oil filter. I took it out. This is the new one. So to be honest with you, to say, like, I've got all the service history for my car. It says when it will last service and stuff. I think it has been serviced well, But I think what it was is literally whoever's done it before in the garage, they've just done it way too tight on the sump plug. So idiots being idiots, but which really annoys me, to be honest with you, because it's like you take your car to a garage, a lot of people take the car to the garage, pay extortionate prices for something that you can do at home, and it's like they pay that much for your car to actually be done right, but yet they fuck about it like that. So like I've seen it before when I had my tyres done, I had new tyres put onto these, and I literally they just did the same old thing, we're just doing it with a ratchet gun, and it's like with like a buzz gun, and I thought, right, well you've not even checked that for torque, but it's what it is. So I ended up having to torque them anyway. But oil filter's been took out now. All the oil has been completely drained. What I did is, before I took the oil filter out, I put the new sump plug in with a new crush washer. All I did is put it in finger tight, make sure it was finger tight completely, and then I got my socket, 17mm socket, and just did it a quarter, and then that's it. That's all it needs to be done. So now what I'm going to be doing is, I know that some people pre-fill the oil filter, which you can if you want to, but I've never done that. I've never been bothered about that. I don't see the point. So what I actually do is I will be putting oil around the O-ring, like the seal here. Then that'll be going on hand tight. And then once it's hand tight, just nip it a little bit more to so it's on, and then that's fine. Like, you don't need to do it any tighter than that. I know people sometimes get like your oil filter ratchet things on and do that, and it's just stupid. Just do it literally just hand tight. But yeah, no rambling on. I'm gonna do that. Put that on, and then next bit is to actually put the oil in. So guys, that is the old oil in there, black, but there doesn't seem to be any metal bits in there, so all's good. It was good oil still, but obviously it needs a refresh anyway. The whole point of doing this as well is with me doing its own oil service. It's, yeah, fair enough, it's not a garage, so I ain't got my service paperwork on that, but I write down every little thing I do. So new spark plugs, new oil filter, new oil, new air filters, stuff like that. I write it all down, so then when I do eventually sell the car, at least it shows that it has had work done. And also keep the receipts to what I've bought, so obviously I've kept the receipt to the oil filter, the oil, everything like that. So it's going to be a bit hard to show you because it's under here, but how much you can see exactly. But that is the new oil filter in. I know I'm going for a Bosch instead of a Hyundai, but it's, yeah. So that says hand tight now. That's there. And then the sump plug, you can see it is there. Where is it? Via new sump plug, new crush washer on. That's obviously done to hand tight, and then just a quarter on ratchet, and that's done via now. So it's time to fill it with oil. With that orange on. Drink it out. So now it's time to fill it with oil. Yeah, so now it's time to fill it with oil. Like I said, I've gone for the Shell Helix HXS, HX7, get it on. There you go. Shell Helix HX7 10W40. And it's synthetic as well, so that's going in. So what I'm going to do now is, I know a lot of people have different methods about doing this. So guys, trying to put some oil in. I've lost my actual, I forgot what you call it now, funnel. So I've just had to make one out of an old bottle and that. So basically, people have got different opinions of what to actually use, like how to do their oil. Look at that, perfect. People have different opinions, and I mean, I know on the manual it says differently, but some people say that you should put half of your bottle of oil in and then do it bit by bit. But I mean, I don't know how big your bottle of oil is, so. But yeah, basically, I know this engine takes around 4 litres, so I'm going to put about 2-3 litres in. And then what I'm going to do is take my dipstick out, fill it up a little bit, put dipstick back in, take it out, and keep doing that until it gets just below the full level. So guys, top the oil up, mending it bit by bit. It's going to be a bit hard with one hand, this, especially when I'm right-handed. So I'll put that in, dipstick, stick it out again, and there you go. So that is just below the full mark now. So that is the oil fully topped up. What I'm going to do now, once that goes back in. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to put the cap back on, with the filler cap. Then I'm just going to make sure the engine's in neutral. I'm just going to turn the engine on, run it around, make sure there's no leaks on any, obviously it's sump plug, any sump, any obviously oil filter, make sure there's no leaks anywhere. And then what you do after you've run your engine again, just check your dipstick again, in case obviously your engine's used a bit more oil, and then go from there. Just started, just checking around now, underneath the cap. So that will be here before anyway. So just check the filter, if you get to it. The filter's here, have a look. No leaks around that, and then some plug is just round here. Doesn't appear. Now it's dry that. So that's the sump plug check, the oil filters check. There's no leaking whatsoever, which is good. Just going to leave engine to idle a little bit. It's not making any noises, no tapping noise or out, which is good. Just run it a little bit longer, and then I'll check the oil level again on the dipstick. If that's still under full, then we've absolutely spot on, and that's job good. So basically, just wipe that completely clean. Obviously, it's not idling now, it's turned off, but put it back in. Check it out to test it again, and the oil has dropped. It's just above low, like, well, about a quarter in. So obviously I'm just going to put a little bit more oil in just to fill it up to just underneath full, and then that's it. Just put a little bit more in, and now it's just where the full mark is, just on the dot. Right, all you got to do then, just make sure dipstick's fully on, and then this is on. You'll know when this is tight because when it's going round, there you go. As soon as it has the first click, then it's tight. So that's it. If you've got any questions, then put them in the comment section below. I believe I've used 4 litres, yeah I have. It's a 5 litre carton of oil basically, or 5 litre bottle of oil, and it's gone to the 1 litre mark, so I've used 4 litres of oil, which is what it says in the like handbook and everything. But some people say that you put 4 litres in first, then you check it and stuff, but you put about 3 litres in. And then check the dipstick over and over again until you get to full mark. Obviously start your engine like I've shown you, then check it again, because obviously when you turn your engine on, because it's not got oil in there at the moment, well it's not had oil in because it's drained all out, as soon as you put oil in there and start it, it has to flush it around the engine again and get it in the different vital compartments. So obviously you just check it again because it will have used a bit. So yeah, that's it guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, a little bit of a different video. I know I've not uploaded much on this car, and I know I've got quite a lot to the car. But yeah, I will be doing more and more videos. It's just I've been modifying the car, I've not been filming it for some reason, but yeah, hopefully I will be filming a lot more videos now. I need to get into it, my Instagram's doing well. If you're not following my Instagram, make sure you follow it. It will be in the description below, and because I always post on there, I post on here every day what modifications that I'm doing. But I need to pick up the camera more and film for YouTube. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time guys.